Hello, everybody. Hey guys, we're gonna let everybody start to log in and then we'll get the call started. Feel free if you guys want to show your camera. It's a very informal group, so it's open to conversation with everyone on the call. And if you don't want to show your camera, no worries at all, too. That's fine. Now it's nice to see everybody. Great. Well, we'll let some people pop on and it's up to you guys how long you guys want to stay on. So we're welcome for you guys to join our discussion today. But my name is Megan. I'm with the Kelly Brush Foundation. I work on building the Active project. So I'm sure some of you guys have heard that before. But it's a platform where you can really dive in and learn about a bunch of different sports, learn about events, and meet other people on that platform. But today we're here to talk about archery on our Active Project Live. So we meet on a bi-weekly basis to share and explain other sports and learn about other adaptive equipment that you guys may have heard of or may be new to you. So we kind of welcome all individuals to join this call to come together and talk about different resources. I would love to meet you guys on the call and get to know everybody. So maybe we can just go around. You can introduce yourself and share maybe if you have any experience with archery in the past or if you're completely new to the sport. Feel free to join explain anything else that you'd like to, if you have any tips or suggestions. And yeah, we'll get to know each other. Why don't we begin with Scott? Do you want to start off? Oh, sorry, Scott, you're muted. I can.
So, yeah, I'm Scott Porter. I live in Orlando. Uh, all my experience with archery predates my spinal cord injury. Uh, I am sort of the Ellis Island for adaptive sports in Orlando. I hold clinics for various people and all that, and welcome all kinds of different adaptive activities into my clinic so they can show. And predominantly, I work with spinal cord injuries or people with spina bifida. Um, uh, so I have no archery tips, just
That's okay.
a lot of interest in various adaptive recreational ideas.
Yeah, glad you're here to listen. And hopefully you can take some tips to share with your group. Thanks, Scott. Why don't we go on next to Kimmy?
Hi. Hi, I'm Kimmy. I've been shooting archery for about 10 years now,
Awesome.
and I started off as an able body and then went to shooting in my chair like 5 years in, and I shoot compound. So, yeah.
Cool. Do you want to explain compound shooting a little bit to the group?
Um, sure. So, actually, hold on. I have my bow just happens to be over this corner.
Oh, even better.
Um,
Cool.
so I know I see Wendy's on here. Wendy and I both shoot compound.
Oh, awesome.
But in compound, basically, the difference between compound and recurve is these cams right here.
Mm.
So they take off a lot of your draw weight when you draw back after a certain point, which is why I shoot compound in the first place. Because I started shooting recurve, but my shoulders could not do recurve due to my
Mm.
balance and everything else. And basically we have magnification at the front. So this is my lens magnifies the target by six, but there's like four, six, and eight. And then you have stabilizers to like for people. I mean, I use it for my balance, but like everyone has stabilizers on their bow. Basically, it's just the amount of weight and the configuration that matters. Yeah,
That's
it's
really
neat.
interesting. Thanks for sharing that. It's cool to see your bow. Why don't we go on next to Wendy since do you guys know each other or do you shoot together?
Kimmy and I shot together. This is our second year, maybe, Kimmy. Anyway, I've done archery. This is my fifth year of doing archery. I'm
Awesome.
on Team USA, travel nationally, internationally. Um, been to the Para Pan Am Games.
Wow, that's awesome.
Uh, got a gold team medal there and individual bronze.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So archery's great, and I like to get anybody involved that thinks they might be interested. My husband and I have a nonprofit where we do adaptive equipment for archers
Where is that?
in North Carolina.
In North Carolina. Great. What's the name of the program there?
It's GX4 Adaptive Archery.
Really cool.
We got a website. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram.
That's awesome. How many days a week do you guys have your program?
We don't. It's
Uh,
just basically me and my husband. He just makes equipment
Oh,
for
okay,
people that
really.
need it. We've had this year we had two Paralympians using some of our equipment,
Oh, cool.
and we've donated equipment to people in, I mean, not just United States, all over the world.
Would you mind explaining the kind of the equipment piece that you kind of focus on?
So I have left side hemiparesis, so I can't use my left arm, and my left leg is not good either. So I
Okay.
shoot from a stool, and I also have it's a brace that goes over my shoulder, and my release is actually mounted to this shoulder brace
Okay.
since I can't hold it.
Hmm.
And then I have it looks like a clothespin that I bite that would release the arrow.
Okay. Really
That's
interesting.
one. There's all kinds of different adaptive equipment, but that's what I use.
Okay. And from what I've known with archery, is there's not a ton of adaptive equipment, but like, or there's small pieces that you can add to your bow. Is that correct?
Basically, you don't do anything to the bow.
Okay.
It would be something that you used yourself.
Oh, okay.
Like, so you
Okay.
can't really modify. If you're going to compete,
Yeah.
you can't like have certain modifications. And
Interesting.
even the equipment that you can use, there are very strict rules.
Mm.
But if you just
Okay.
want to have
Compared
fun,
to
you know, you
competitive
obviously
level.
could do whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Really interesting. That's so cool. How did you learn how to adapt those things and how was it kind of just like trial and error to see kind of what worked?
Yeah, my husband, he does it all.
Okay.
But so like he researched on the internet. There's not really a lot out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we just kind of like you said, trial and error. We'd start with one thing and see what worked and continue
Mm-hmm.
from there.
That's really cool. It's so neat to kind of have these discussions because I think a lot of times a lot of great ideas come out of these discussions and it kind of lights one idea up for another. So thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
David, it's so good to see you on the call. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm David Wieselman. I'm from Where to Wheel. I'm up in Vermont right now, kayaking, adaptive kayaking. It's frigid cold, but layered up. Foliage is on fire. It's just
Yeah,
past peak. I'm
peak
almost in
foliage right now,
Canada.
right?
Yeah, but it's gonna warm up. I'm really excited about this. I've always wanted to try archery. I was blown away by the Paralympics with March, is it Statsman? Uh, as Paralympic gold, and also the armless girl from India, just incredible. I'm a quad and I chest down, so I'm really hoping that I can go through this and figure out maybe if I need a brace, stomach brace, and what I can use. My left hand is jeopardized, but my right arm's pretty good. The compound bow was an interesting thing to know about because how do you pull it back and still hold um, and be accurate? So I'm here to learn. I'm excited. I'd love to try it. I like to try everything, but yeah, this is great. And Wendy, congratulations, bronze medalist. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I think you should definitely give it a try, David. I feel like it would be right up your alley for the winter.
I love shooting targets with a gun, and I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah,
But sure, I'm gonna try it. So I'm here to learn. I'm excited.
cool. Thanks, David, for joining today. Um, who wants to go next? Anyone? I don't need to pick and call on people, but I can if you guys want me to. Oh, Chris, sorry. I think you're talking, but you just went on mute.
There it is.
Oh, there.
Hi, also, I'm Chris. I'm from New Jersey. I've been shooting for 2 years now. I discovered archery post-injury at the Abilities Expo. I sort of knew that post-injury sports were really helping people fit into themselves and discover a light that they didn't realize was maybe in them. So I wheeled up to the Challenge Athletes Foundation booth and asked about sports, and they turned me in the direction of archery.
Cool.
And I've been doing it ever since. I shoot compound as well. I I'm a quad, so my hands are a little compromised. I've been using not the active hand, although I think I'm gonna need to buckle down and just buy the real
Mm.
$100 active hand. But they sell little $10 ones on Amazon that have been doing me wonders. And to release, I can't really pull back and release with my fingers, so I
Mm.
use a tab and I'll bite down, and then with my side stabilizer, which isn't an adaptive piece of equipment, just if anybody could use a stabilizer, I'll push off. And so I'm not really drawing back, I'm pushing away from myself.
Oh,
And
really
then
interesting.
release, I just very slowly relax my jaw, and then there we go.
How did you kind of find out about the push mechanism instead of the pull?
So that was really when I found the Challenge Athletes Foundation, they set me up with an organization known as the North Jersey Navigators that does a bunch of different sports, but I've been shooting with their archery wing, and they have a bunch of veteran coaches that will sort of look at you and your disability and see what you can do, what you can't do, if you need a stool or if you need some people will shoot with a tripod. And it really was just a lot of trying different things, failing, and then eventually we settled on all of that.
Really
But
cool.
it's
That's awesome.
definitely a lot of in the beginning, I would hold the bow,
Mhm.
shoot an arrow, and then drop everything.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people can kind of connect with that and learning what works best for them. Um,
Yeah.
it's really cool to hear your passion of the sport and how you really got into it over the few
No,
past
it's
years.
truly changed my life. I love it.
That's great. Do you, are you shooting mostly inside or outside? Like,
I do a mix of both. So the team I'm a part of for the summer and spring months will do a park outside, but now we've transitioned into shooting indoor.
oh, that's what's so neat about archery is you can really do it year round depending
Yeah, it
on
never
where
stops.
you live. Yeah, exactly. So neat. Um, so nice to meet you, Chris. John, did you want to go ahead? I saw that you kind of spoke up for a
Yeah,
second.
sure. I'm happy to go next. John
Awesome.
Andres. I'm from Boston. Uh, but I became a para at the beginning of this year due to disease. And my experience with archery is really Boy Scouts as a kid, and sports camps, which I loved and thought it was a lot of fun. But I found out about the Kelly Brush Foundation. I've been just joining the calls on things that might interest me. My first love has been sailing. I got sailing out once this year, hopefully a lot more next year, because I found a group that has an adapted boat just like the one I own. And so I thought, I have basically all my upper body capabilities that this might be a good thing for me to think about doing.
That's really neat. It's great that you found kind of a few sports this summer to really hone in on
Yeah,
and be outside, which is always nice too.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. I hope you learned something out of this call today.
Me too.
curious which programs you're using, John. Are you using community boating or Pierce Park?
This is actually a group out on Cape Cod,
Oh, wow.
which is Pleasant Bay Community Boating. It's a community boating group that part of their mission is to get people out on the water, access, be it for whatever reason, be it handicap, be it, behavioral issues, whatever it may be. And they adapted, one of the boats they adapted is a cat boat, and I have a cat boat, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with them. They have one mast way up front and a trapezoidal sail, so they're just kind of fun to sail. And actually, coincidentally, the woman who runs the program also sold me my boat about 12 years ago. So I know them, and it worked out really well. They've been trying to figure out the steering mechanism, so I was helping her with what worked, what didn't work. And next year they're going to revise it over. Hopefully, I'll get to sail it a bunch of times next summer. But I have heard that the Boston group has an adaptive program as well.
Yeah, they have racing. I've never raced with Pierce Park, but I raced with community boating on Wednesday nights with I don't know, a 25-foot sonar, 30-foot. I'm not sure how long it is.
Sonar's 2025 probably.
Yeah. So it's fun. You should, if you don't mind, shoot me your email in the chat. I'd love to find out more about what you're doing, but maybe we can race next year.
That'd be fun. I haven't raced in a long time. I've been a lazy
Let's
sailor.
do it.
I used to crew for lots of people.
Carve open your Wednesday nights.
Right.
Carve out a spot.
That's great. I love to hear that. Anyone want to pop on next?
So I can pop on. Sorry, my camera's not working. My name is Bodie Reese, and
Bodie?
I just wanted to kind of jump on and see what this was all about. We actually have I live in Shrewsbury, right next to Worcester, here in Massachusetts. So we have an archery center over here that's kind of that you can sign up for. And my family actually went out and did it, and I didn't get a chance to because I'm always seem to be busy with projects around the house. But I am actively involved with the Kelly Brush Foundation with a lot of different things. I do like mono skiing. I was able to actually go out to Bend, Oregon this last year with those folks, and now I'm kind of the summer's over, but during the summer I was also doing some mountain biking with the hand cycle, the e-assist hand cycle. So I'm just adding this as another one of those things that I can probably put in my arsenal when I can't get on a bicycle, can't go skiing. Well, no, maybe I can do archery. So that's just me.
Thanks, Bodie.
Right, no problem.
Yeah, I think a lot of people on this call can probably relate to it, but it's another great activity to really just quiet the mind and really focus in on the sport. Kind of, I would say, similar in a way to mountain biking. You're kind of out in nature and you can really just focus and be with yourself and also just kind of get into the sport a little bit more.
I'll go next.
Yeah, great, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nitra. Hi, Chris. I've already met Chris.
Hi.
I shoot Olympic recurve, and I got started about 2.5 years ago at a Triumph Foundation Wheelchair Sports Festival. Triumph Foundation is a nonprofit in Los Angeles, and I'm an ambassador with them. We go into hospitals and meet newly injured spinal cord injuries and give them resources, a point of contact. But they had a wheelchair sports festival, and they have all the sports there. They're free. They have it every year. And I went and I tried archery, and I've never tried any other sport. I've been paralyzed for 20 years. And I'm a T3, so I didn't want to try football, basketball, because I don't want to risk getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm a girly girl. So I tried archery and I fell in love. I met MJ Rogers. He's a Paralympic archery coach, and he had me on target the first time. And he actually comes to the sports festival every year. So I saw him again the next year, and then that's when he told me I was ready for Olympic recurve bow. And I just went to Aces and Arrows here and started practicing, and got a coach. And I just got classified as a national Paralympic archer in August in Chicago, and then I just won my first gold medal for Nevada Outdoor State Championship. So now we're into indoor season, and I'm completely in love. with archery. It has changed my life. It has caused me to get stronger. I'm not even in the power chair anymore. I'm in a manual chair. And just all the muscles that I need for every day, I need them for archery. So it's like killing two birds with one stone.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's awesome. So cool to hear
Incredible.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks,
Congrats
guys.
on gold.
Thank you.
It's so neat to hear that. And especially I love to hear the how you connect it with your life nowadays and really improve just on a daily basis. That's awesome. What was the thing that made you click? Because you were like, I'm a girly girl. What made you click into archery?
Well, archery, I mean, it does, you don't sweat, you
Yeah.
know, unless it's hot outside, but it's like, it's not very strenuous. I mean, it's more about accuracy and precision.
Hmm.
So it's something that I can actually compete in.
Really, really neat. Cool.
Hey, Denitra, congrats on the gold. That's awesome.
Hi, Diane. Thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm Diane. And I know a bunch of you guys. I went archery for the first time this summer at Empower with Chris and Denitra, and I learned a lot from them. They're very skilled at archery and had like so many great pointers and tips, and it was really fun to watch them just slay as well. But I kind of just like um, was like just feeling out the bow and like learning kind of like what I would need and what like hand adaptations I would and wouldn't need. And it was just like, it was really fun. And just, it was great to like be in the woods and like outside. And I really did like it more than I thought. So I haven't gone again, but I really want to. And so hopefully now it's like already fall. So hopefully next summer I'll be back and doing it more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope
thanks.
so.
It's when you guys were out at Empower, were you guys in an outdoor setting, was it?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were outdoors.
Cool. That's so neat. Were you, Chris and Denitra, were you guys teaching at Empower or what were you guys doing there?
Yeah, unexpectedly, right?
Oh,
Awesome.
that's
That's
even
so
worse.
cool.
Coach
We were,
everybody.
yeah, yeah, we were the ones that had the experience. So
Really cool.
yeah, we kind of led the way.
That's great to
And
hear.
it was cool because he does compound and I do recurve. So having both of the bows there,
We hit all the
I think
bases.
was good. Yeah.
You did. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then we even did the mouth tab so Chris can shoot and
Yeah.
other people can shoot as well. So
That's really neat.
yeah, it's so adaptive. Like archery is so adaptive. Literally anyone can do it.
So what kind of adaptations are available for a quad with limited upper body strength and funky hands and
So with the funky hands, you're gonna want to get yourself some version of the active hand. I said, like, if you go to like various different clinics and whatnot, you've probably seen the big beefy one that you can sort of strap yourself and strap into. Those are great, but they're $100. I said before that they make cheap little ones. I think they're targeted more for stroke, but they work great. You know, you could just strap around your wrist and into the bow. Um, and then a mouth tab works great. I know if you're getting into competitions and want to get on the high level, I believe it's allowed, but they get dicey with the mouth tab. I know a lot of people, like Wendy, you mentioned before, you have a release that you use. I know that's more sort of where they want to go in terms of competition, but I love my mouth tab. It's a dream. It's nice and clean. I'm not spitting on nobody. It's great. Um,
Mm.
so with those two things, um, I get by great. It can be a little tricky, even though the compound does take all that weight. It takes all the weight on once you're at full draw. You still have to get it to full draw.
Right.
So yeah. Both will have a stabilizer, which just is a fancy word for big stick that goes on your bow. Sometimes they'll shoot directly out in front, or you'll have them on the sides. So
Mhm.
I have one on my side that I'll use to truly just push away from me, and I'm anchoring in the side of my mouth. You want to sort of put it in the back of your molars so you don't break your teeth.
Yeah.
But I do by putting in I've never had any teeth issues, and I've been doing it for 2 years. But when they first told me, when I showed up to that first practice, and they were like, "Okay, we're using a mouth tab now," I looked like, "Okay, are we sure?" But no issues. Um,
Cool.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like, with the quad hands
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that.
I've got them. Got them
You
too.
should be good.
Thank you, Chris.
Of course, no problem.
I don't know if someone would like to explain. I've seen a variety of different options, but to play at a seated level, I've seen like the bow set up on a stand. So sometimes either like a walker or like a different setup. And any way like that, does someone want to explain that in better terms than how I am?
Yeah, there's a girl on my team who she has AFO braces and she shoots from a stool and she has issues holding the bow. So they put it on a tripod for her and she'll shoot that way also with her mouth. And then she just has it on a tripod. I think, again, if you're getting to the super duper national, international competition levels, they don't like the tripod because we had a woman come by who was used to be an orthopedic surgeon and consults with a lot of the USA, like Team USA on the para side. And she was saying that, you know, they're getting these rules from World Archery that,
Mhm.
it gets to the point where it's like, okay, this is now a philosophical debate on, is it archery or you just releasing an arrow? But isn't,
Right.
but that's if you want to be super duper gung ho.
Competitive.
Yeah. Um, but it is a great option if you can't, let's say you can't hold it or whatnot, and you need that for you. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you for answering that question. Wendy, I think you raised your hand. Feel free to share if you want.
I was just saying he's correct. If you were to go nationally, internationally, and compete, you cannot use a stand.
Okay,
No,
good.
yeah, and like, and adding on to that, like the most that someone obviously we have stands to set our bows on the ground,
Hmm.
but like if you struggle to hold it up, like I do sometimes, you just prop it. This is really bad because my couch is right next to me, so I can't go forward. But like you prop it on either like your wheel or your leg, and then you can kind of like push up that way. But yeah, tripods are definitely not allowed when we get to the higher levels.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, and I wanted to mention one more thing. Edward, you said you struggle with sort of core strength, and I do as well. And I didn't mention this. When I'm shooting, I always shoot from my manual chair, and I'm allowed to shoot with a chest strap.
Mhm.
Um, so it's screwed right in the back of my wheelchair. I plug it in, tighten it down, and I'm good to go. Because if I didn't have that chest strap, I'd be flopping so forward. It would be bad. Sometimes I go for a shot and I forget that I'm not wearing it, and it's not fun. Um, but that's it. That's kind of an interesting thing about archery too. And Nitra, you touched on this as well. Archery is the reason I even have a manual chair. I had my power chair with no real intentions on my side and even my like care medical team side until having the conversations with my coaches, they were saying like, hey, you're coming every Saturday, you're getting really good at this, you should start competing. But if you're competing, there's these rules, with the chair. It's not that they have to do with the fact that it's a power chair, but you can't have six wheels, your
Right.
backrest can't be super high. So I got the
Right.
chair with the express purpose to compete in.
Good
And
job, Chris.
yeah, and it made me more independent because I have this manual chair. It's the only time I'm in it isn't doing archery. I'll use it in my day-to-day life. So that's been huge.
And you're able to be social with it too. Like I didn't realize what I was missing with the manual chair.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put it in a friend's car, transfer in the front seat.
Yeah,
Oh, it's been
yeah.
great.
It's changed my life for real. Just archery has changed all of that.
Yeah.
And I had something that, but for any of y'all who shoot from your chair who are not quad, so you're not classified as a W1, there are some extra things. So like your backrest can't be from here down, it can't be longer than 11 centimeters, just as
Yeah.
like a general rule. Um, because they don't want you relying too much on your chair for stability and balance when you're shooting. And also for those of you who wouldn't be classified as a W1, because a W1, and Wendy can correct me on this, is both of your lower limbs are impaired and at least one of your upper limbs is impaired, I believe.
Yes,
Um,
W1 is 3 limbs.
and so if you're classified as like standing or a W2, you can have lateral supports for balance. They just can't go more than halfway past your torso, I think. So yeah, the equipment talk just made me want to add that.
And you can also have a 2-inch strap, but not if you're a W2. You're only allowed a 2-inch strap to hold you in. You can't have the whole chest strap that Chris has.
Thanks for sharing those. That's all good information to know. I see Rolando shared in the group chat. I might mess up this last name, so correct me if I'm wrong. But Matt Stutzman, seems to be using a quick release that he triggers with his mouth. Any idea where I can see his setup? Does anyone have any tips or suggestions for that?
Yeah, just Google him. There's lots of videos, photos of him. He just triggers it with his face. It has like a little, um, just a little. I don't really know if he added on there, if he's just using a regular release now. There was a release that he specifically had made that they don't make anymore. It was a HT fingerless, and you would just trigger up your chin or your face. He just straps. He just uses a regular strap and straps that release on, nothing fancy. And it works for him because he's shooting with his feet and he's shooting straight at the target. Um, I tried to do that when we first made my release, but it didn't work because sitting, I'm to the side. I'm not facing the target, and it would never stay in the same place. It would always pull up on my name.
Thanks, Wendy. Let's see. Amani, have you done any archery so far yet?
Uh, actually, no.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you're listening into this conversation.
I'm just here listening. I'm an ex-Olympics Olympic. I swimmer. That's all I know is how to swim. Um, but as far as archery, no, I don't know anything about archery. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. It's totally okay. I'm so glad that you're here and joining the call today.
Yes, I'm just listening. It's like, oh, that's how you do it. I'm like, oh, that's how people. Okay. in my
That's great.
mind.
It's so nice to learn a new sport and learn more about something. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you. I'm happy
Where
to
do
be.
you live?
Oh, I live in New York, so yeah, I'm not up in the mountains or woods.
Okay.
I'm in yeah, New York, Long Island, to be exact.
Oh, Rhode Island. Okay.
No, Long Island,
Oh, Long
Long.
Island. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll give archery a try now after hearing some of these options.
Well, I don't know, because don't you have to be like up in the mountains or wilderness or something to do archery? No?
Does
No,
anyone have anything to share with that? I'm sure that
I'm
there's.
no. So
sorry. You
Oh
know.
no, there.
I live in Houston. So you definitely don't need to be up in the mountains to do anything because I live in the middle of a city and they have like different outdoor ranges. Like you can look up some in your area or like indoor ranges to go out of. You don't have to live in the mountains or anything to be able to shoot.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, there was a summer where we were shooting in Staten Island, and I can't picture a less mountainous outdoorsy place.
Okay.
So, how did you guys find programs near you to participate? Does anyone want to share how they found either a program near them or a facility that they play at?
I if you I found now I don't shoot out of an adaptive sports place, but like I found the like local adaptive sports place, which is this one's I shot at it when I was younger, but San Antonio Extreme. You Move United has a website where you can like type in your city and where you live, and you can find like all different kinds of places near you to shoot out of, cycle, swim, all that.
Yeah, that's great. Adaptive sport programs are always a great place to start and learn about um, like new sports to try. Also a great way to find out about where to learn about different adaptive sports as well.
I
Um,
could play basketball at that. Swimming and basketball.
that's great. I love to hear that.
Ask me anything about that. Other than that, I have no clue about you.
That's all right. Really cool.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry at all. I just saw, do you wit join the call? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Let's put in a
Hey,
meeting.
everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, getting on here kind of late. I've been having some technical issues. That's what happens when you live near LAX.
Yeah.
Sometimes plane takes your signals.
Oh, lovely.
But I see a couple familiar faces around here. I see Whitney. Whitney over there. Hey, how's it going, Miss Garner? Then also I see Nitra. Hey, how's it going? I am a W1 classified archer with USA Archery. I've been doing archery for this will be second year, yeah, for 2.5 years. And it's been a blast. It's been a learning experience. And it's been something fun to do, but it teaches you a lot of patience.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it's so great to hear your experience in the sport.
Dame has been, I don't know if you guys can see me, I can't see myself, but Damon has like taught me everything archery. Like let me pick his brain for the last 2 years to let me know that I needed to get classified because I didn't even know that that's really the first step you need to do is get classified. Because if you're not classified, you're kind of not really competing. I mean, this is if you want to compete, but you're kind of not competing if you don't get classified. So he has really guided me to get classified.
Well, with classification, what that really does is if you decide to go onto the national and international level of competing, then you have to be classified either a W1 W2 or any things of that nature. They want to make sure that you fit inside that the right category, that you're shooting against the right individuals. Other than that, if you're not going that far, you don't have to get classified, but then you'll be shooting against everyone. Put it that way. Would you rather shoot and get your scores tallied against someone who is shooting with you with the same disability or in that same category? Or do you want to shoot with the whole general category with everyone, standing or sitting, whatever the case may be? Your chances of having better scores is, it looks better when you're going against your peers in that same category opposed to everybody
And
that's there.
yeah, and that's the thing about archery. It makes it fair. Like it levels the competition.
Does when you're in different levels, does it matter like age or anything, or is it kind of open towards what level you're shooting at?
Well, yeah, it is ages because it's the kids' ages. So it's what like you 11, you 13,
Okay.
you 15, you 18, and then it's the adults. So the adults shoot together in as seniors, but it's broken down if you're a para archer by W1 and W2.
Okay.
And now they also have it to where if you are visually impaired, you can also shoot archery also. Now to kind of answer that question that you asked before, when it comes to the national and international, no. Being your age, if you are on the team and you're going and you're competing, just as we saw the previous Paralympics, the youngest individual there was Jordan White. He's part of the USA archery team, and he shoots recurve. So he shot against all the other countries that shot in recurve. So being young or not the same age as the other individuals, you can still win that way also. But that's with your classification.
Yeah. And then kind of adding on to what Damon said. So for example, I'm 17. And when I'm at local tournaments, like when I'm the only one in my division and things like that, I will tend to try and shoot in because USA Archery does have para U18 categories for the younger ages. But once you get to a national level, so indoor nationals, outdoor nationals, USAC, all of that stuff, you can't get NRS, which is our national ranking system. You can't get those points for the para USAC team from shooting in those divisions. So like since I was 15, I believe, I've been shooting in the para senior category. So I mean, you can shoot up if you are in those youth ages.
Thanks for explaining that, guys. Amani, did you have your hand up?
Yeah. I wanted to ask, D Wait?
You can just call me D. Everybody calls me D.
Oh, good. All right, thank you.
I have it under D Witt, and Witt is short than for Whitaker, so which is my last name. It's just easy to say D Witt when I was typing stuff out.
Okay. You said archery and makes you have patience.
Oh,
doing it.
Yes.
How so? Can you explain that?
You once you get into it, it's all fun and games with that gets you hooked. Now, once you decide to go ahead and start to compete, you are going to learn that the first time that you tried it, that target was awfully close and it was a big target. Now, then once you decide, hey, this is something I want to really, really get into, then you see the real target and then the distance of where you're at. So then now you're going to have to keep on practicing. You're going to have to go ahead. You're not going to be great and perfect in the beginning. It's going to take time. It's also like golf or something else. Yes, it looks like it's all fun and games when you first get into it, and then you get that love, and then you say, okay, now if you want to go ahead and be very competitive and shoot against others, then yes, you will learn patience. And it what I tell newly injured individuals who want to try it, that it will humble you. It'll you're already sitting down. If you're not sitting down, you're gonna have to sit down and be like, hey, why am I not shooting and hitting this bullseye when I'm aiming right there? Because of different other factors. And once you get a coach and to help you with that, and then you start getting better and better and closer to reaching that goal, then you'll be okay. Hey, I can do this.
Okay. Okay, you have a lot of patience for that then. Okay.
Now we don't want to get into being too technical to that. Then when you, like I said, once you really are into it, then you start making your own arrows and everything like that. Yeah, you're gonna have to be patient, letting the glue all the way. I mean, when you're fletching your arrows and all that stuff, yeah, you'll be patient.
I think it's definitely like a mental sport. Like it gives you mental toughness that you're gonna need in life anyway, because things are not always gonna go right. Your equipment isn't always gonna be right, but you got to be ready to shoot. Like, only thing that really matters is that arrow at that time. So you got to be able to clear your head and just shoot.
Wow. Okay.
What really helped me with that, because definitely in the beginning, I struggled with, getting out there on the line and shooting as fast as I physically can, and that's not what you want to do at all, was having a coach tell me that it's a martial art. So you want to be grounded, you want to sort of clear your head and be zen out there, and that's really helped me. So patience is a huge part of this sport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
How
we have
often
it
will you
before.
go shooting? Like how often do most people go?
Well, I go like 3 times a week. I go Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Halfway. Wow.
Yeah, but I'm kind of addicted, so.
Love it.
I have practice every Saturdays.
Okay.
Every Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shelley. I'm sorry.
Now it depends. When you get up to a certain point. Now, if it's just for a hobby and just to let off some steam, you can go, whenever that you want to. First off, what you want to do is, of course, find the closest range or club that's near you. So then that way you can actually go learn form, take some classes, also get familiar with the equipment, and then also take their safety classes, because you first things first is always safety. Once you learn the safety rules of the range, then you can go anytime. Hobby, it'll mostly be on the weekends, so then that way you'll be matched up or with other individuals who this is their first time doing it and learning how to shoot. Now, when you start to get serious, then that's when you'll go ahead and you'll start paying for those individual classes, and then you're talking with an instructor in reference to what type of equipment that you want.
Yeah,
because you don't want to go and just buy brand new stuff. You want to go ahead, go be introduced to someone where they can help you out, just let you gradually get into it. You know how some people
Rolando.
go full head, others you want to just put your toe in the water and slowly get into it. Now,
Rolando asked about the price of this being a hobby. Well, the lessons were at Aces and Arrows, they're $45 a lesson, and bows can range from anywhere like $1,000 to like $5,000, depending on what you get, what level you're at.
Well, with what Rolando said, Rolando, also some archery clubs do have equipment rental. So depending on and I don't know exactly how to say this, but depending on how much you need adapted to it, you could always go and rent them. I mean, they're super generic, so you can't like customize them super well to your needs, but it's to get you started as a hobby. Like I know my range does equipment rentals for like $15. So equipment rental is definitely cheaper than getting your own stuff if you wanted a hobby.
yeah, and I know most of the time from out here in California, there's two places where I tell individuals where they can go, and they do the beginner classes. They're $5. You got to be there 8 o'clock in the morning, but it's $5 for like 2 hours while you over there shooting. You got to be up early in the morning, and it gets busy. They actually fill up out of their classes sometimes between 10 to 18 people every weekend. And then they'll have more intermediate classes at the later hours. So it's from 8 to 10, then from 10 to 12. And those are still $5. So then it made it where it was a lot cheaper for me in the beginning when I was just learning and creating a shot process and everything. So it was very economical for me. Now, like I said, if you want to start winning and doing everything like Wendy up here, she has a lot of stuff that she has done, and I'm trying to get to her level.
Right.
So now
Wow.
I have to come out the $45, $60, for an hour and a half with a coach. But of course, I have seen it pay off. This is something that you learn, and it's a skill that you'll get later on. Hey, if something was to happen and I move to, say, Colorado or anything like that, and it's time to go hunting, I know that I can go hunt. I know how to shoot a bow.
Dear God. Wow. So it's a stress reliever for you guys, right?
Absolutely. It's definitely therapy for me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, same for me. Like when school gets super stressful or anything, I actually have a target in my house, and it's just like one of those sandbag targets. I've had it for like years. And sometimes I'll just go in front of it and shoot a couple arrows. I obviously can't shoot a full scoring round for it because then I would lessen the life of it a lot. But even just being able to do that's an advantage,
Yeah.
and I like it.
Really cool.
Oh, okay. I have to try it.
Yes, please. Come on, you can try it. It's simple. Don't let just the fear of I don't know the status or situation in reference to your disability, but if you just try to do what you can, there's a lot of different adaptive equipment that's out there that either you can the simple things as a release with a trigger, or maybe if we have to do like a mouth tab or some other things, which of course those are, you have to go ahead and purchase those, but within the archery community, from the time that I've been in it, everyone is wants you to succeed and is very helpful. And the resources that they are willing to share and help you get to where you want to go.
Yep.
Have no fear. Archers genuinely seem to be universally like very nice, sweet people and always want to help each other.
Yeah, and Rolando, what you said about what's best for beginners, if you go to a club, the bow you'll probably try to shoot first is a bare bow, so there's no stabilizers, there's no sights, there's nothing really on it. And from there, whoever's like you're having lessons from will like kind of guide you in the direction of what they think might work best for
Yeah,
you. I've done
it,
all three. I've done bare
yeah, and
bow,
it's really
return, and
your preference too. Like, whatever you're most comfortable with, you just gotta try them out and see what you like the best, and it could be adapted.
Okay.
John, how are you feeling? I feel like you came into the call a little bit thinking that this might be a new sport for you.
Yeah, well, I've been out there Googling places to go. I guess Spalding's got one in East Sandwich. So I've been kind of poking around looking for where to go because then where to get started. I'm not a morning person. I'm not doing 8 o'clock in the morning. My routine won't let me do that. Sorry.
Me either, buddy.
I'm not either.
We
Absolutely not.
might have.
John, for
Because
you,
I'm not a morning person either.
John, for you, they do archery, I believe in the fall and the winter, in the North Shore too, for Spalding.
Okay.
That might be another option in that
Well,
area.
I'll be over there on Thursday doing my PT, so I'll talk to Michelle and we'll figure something out. I know I've got a bunch of information from them that I have sitting on my desk at the other house. So
Yeah, along with that, so the active project I did post in the chat earlier, and all you guys
yeah.
have such good resources. So if anyone has anything, any program or any um company that they've worked with in the past that's not on the platform, please let me know. I can enter my email in the chat, but that's another great resource to find out where to participate in different programs and exactly kind of how everyone's sharing in here. Like search a program and go attend that first. That's a great way to learn more about the sport with videos on the platform and equipment videos and all sorts of things that you can really dive into. So check that out too. And if anyone has any feedback or anything you want me to add, send it
Well,
over.
that's right. I was connecting with Dave. He's already said he's found someplace for archery in Chatham, which is where I
I
go
love,
to. So
oh, it's such a great, you guys are awesome. It's so nice to see these things come together.
it seems like a great sport.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially if you like being outdoors. There's two different types. Well, there's more than two, but you have your indoor season, which is about to start now because a lot of the East Coast is starting to get cold and all that now. And then you also have your outdoor. I shoot outdoors, so I don't mind being outside. Indoor, of course, I have to find a couple places that's out here in California. California is one of those states where they're kind of scared of compound bows and other projectile. So you can always go to USA Archery, and they have where you can find a club that's closest to you, and they have lots of videos and things of where you can find somewhere to a club, or you can also check out the para archery. And with para archery, it gives you a lot more information, and it also has some videos and things of that nature.
Great.
And
Awesome.
speaking of indoor season, I'm just gonna put this out there. If any of y'all are like, if you've been shooting, not for a while, but like for a little bit, or you just want tournament experience, I know USA Archery just posted the indoor national schedule. So if any of y'all are looking for things to do like that, that was posted today. So,
Cool. Thanks, Kimmy. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. I won't take too much of your time. Diane, do you have anything else you want to share with
No, also just thank you everyone for for coming, and I learned a lot as well. So I really appreciate everyone sharing and providing their insight and knowledge.
Thanks for inviting me.
If
Yeah.
anyone wants to attend in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about tennis. So every 2 weeks we have a chat, and it's always nice to see a community come together and really share their expertise or learn something new about a new sport. So,
Tennis.
yep, wheelchair tennis.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
You
you,
all
Good
guys.
at too.
Thank
That's all.
you.
Bye.
have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
Hope to see you
you.
guys on the line.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
And do you want to stay on just for a sec? Oh, bye. Everyone, see you
Bye.
guys soon. Have a good one.
Okay.